Welcome to Hannity. Donald Trump officially ruled out a third-party run for president today. I'm Tucker Carlson, in tonight for Sean. Earlier today, the billionaire businessman signed the RNC loyalty pledge, meaning that if he doesn't win the Republican nomination, he claims he will not run as an independent. We've got some highlights from Mr. Trump's press conference today. Take a look.
The chairman just left, as you probably know, and he's been extremely fair. The RNC has been absolutely terrific over the last 2-month period. And as you know, that's what I've wanted. I've wanted fairness. I don't have to be treated any differently than anybody else. I just wanted fairness from the Republican Party. We're leading in every single poll. A new poll came out today where we're over 30%. We've actually hit numbers as high as 35 and 40%. And frankly, I felt that the absolute best way to win and to beat the Democrats, and very easily, I think, beat the Democrats, no matter who it may be, whether it's Hillary or anybody else. And I think maybe Hillary's going to have a very hard time, frankly, with what's happening, getting to the starting gate. The best way for the Republicans to win is if I win the nomination and go directly against whoever they happen to put up. And for that reason, I have signed the pledge. Yeah. So I will be totally pledging my allegiance to the Republican Party and the conservative principles for which it stands, and we will go out and we will fight hard, and we will win. We will win. And most importantly, we will make our country great again, because that's what it's all about. We have to make our country great again. Well, I think the big thing, Dana, that's changed is, and it's been obvious to all, number one, after I announced, we went up like a rocket ship. Nobody thought I was going to run, and they said, oh, he won't run, and he won't put in his papers, and he won't do all of this. I did that. The papers in terms of the company turned out to be spectacular. It's a great company. I built a great company. And all of the other papers have turned out to be very well received. And I think the thing that changed is the fact that I went to number one place very quickly after I signed, and after I, in this building, notified everybody that I'd be running for president. So I think the biggest thing is that I went early to number one, and the RNC has treated me with great respect. One of the things I want to do, and I feel very strongly, it's a country based on borders, and our country is based on laws. And when people come into the country illegally, we should not allow that. And this is not from South America, this is not from Mexico, this is from all over the world. When people come illegally, we cannot allow that. And I want people to come legally. I want very much to take care of our border, because our southern border is a total mess. That's been proven. And interestingly, a couple of months ago when I announced, I made some very strong statements about the crime and the problems that were happening, and I've been proven right. And many of the people in this audience actually have apologized to me, which I very much appreciate. Of course, they haven't done it publicly, but these are minor details. Someday they will. The fact is that we are a nation that wants and needs borders. We're a nation that wants and needs and is based on laws. And we will make sure that that takes place. With that being said, I want people to come into our country legally. I want to have a big, fat, beautiful, open door. I want people of great talent to come in for Silicon Valley. I want engineers. I want physicists. I want people with great talent to come into the United States. When people graduate from college, you can be number one in your class at Harvard, or number one at Yale, or the Wharton School of Finance, or Princeton, or Stanford. And immediately, if you're not a citizen of the United States, you get thrown out of the country. We want those people to stay. We want people of great talent to be in the United States, to work here, and ultimately to become a citizen. We have a lot of problems. We have to take care of our vets. We have to build up our military. Just the other day, General Ordiano said that the Army is in the worst shape in its history in terms of preparedness. Now, for them to be in bad shape, with the way we are and with the world hating us, and you look at Hillary Clinton, and I've said she's the worst Secretary of State in the history of this country. Now, in all fairness, because of the agreement that's about to be finalized with Iran, John Kerry may very well take her place. I think that agreement is a disaster for this country, for Israel, for the Middle East. It's going to lead to nuclear proliferation, the 24-day clause, everything about, we don't even get our prisoners back. You say, who negotiates a thing like that? That won't happen, I can guarantee you, with President Trump. Jeb Bush is a very nice man. I'll be honest. I think he's a very nice person. I think he's a very low-energy person, and I don't think that's what the country needs. I hear that he's going to spend a lot of money on negative ads on me, and honestly, look, he's getting the money from special interests. He's getting the money from lobbyists and his donors. And they're making him do it because he's crashing in the polls. So I don't know what's going to happen. If he spends $20 million or $25 million on negative ads, I don't know. I know that my life will continue. I just don't know. I mean, nobody's ever spent money on ads against me. But he probably has to do that, although it would not be the way I've done. You know, one of the things that I'm most honored about is that so far everybody that's attacked me has gone down the tubes. You have Lindsey Graham attacked me. He was at 3%. Now he's at 0%. You have Perry attacked me. Now he's getting out of the race. He was at 4 or 5%. Now he's getting out of the race. He was at 0%. Everybody, Rand Paul attacked me. I see the last poll, the Monmouth poll, just came out today, where I'm leading by double figures, and Rand Paul is down to less than 2%, and he attacked me. Now, Jeb Bush also just went down in the Monmouth poll, very big. So, I don't know. I mean, he's going to spend lobbyists' money and special interest money. Remember this. They have total control over Jeb and Hillary and everybody else that takes that money. Nobody knows the system better than me. They have total control. You understand it very well because you've been covering it for a long time. Those people that are putting up those millions of dollars have total control over your candidate. I will tell you this. Nobody's putting up millions of dollars for me. I'm putting up my own money. Kanye West, you know what? I'll never say bad about him. You know why? Because he loves Trump. He loves Trump. He goes around saying, Trump is my all-time hero. He says it to everybody. So Kanye West, I love him. Now, maybe in a few years I'll have to run against him. I don't know, so I'll take that back. But you know what? He's been so nice to me. You people have sort of seen, because I've been a counterpuncher. I only hit people when they hit me. Only. And Kanye West has been so great. I would never say bad about him because he says such nice things about me. My supporters are really supporting me because I'm very competent, because they know that I'm not going to let China rip us off. I'm not going to let Japan rip us off. Japan is devaluing their yen. Very hard for Caterpillar and other companies to compete against Komatsu, their big tractor maker, and others. We're not going to let this happen anymore. They do. You talk about a trade imbalance. They have in Japan the biggest ships you've ever seen, pouring cars into Los Angeles, pouring them in. I've never seen anything like it. We send them beef, and they don't even want it. It's going to end, and they're going to like us. In this building, I have the largest bank in the world, right up in these elevators. It's a bank from China, by far the biggest bank in the world. I get along great with China. I get along great with Japan. I get along great with Mexico. I love the people. I love the people of Mexico. I love the Hispanics. I have thousands of Hispanics right now working for me. Over the years, I have employed tens of thousands of Hispanics, many from Mexico. I have unbelievably great relationships, and in the package that we gave you, you'll see there's a poll, and I'm #1 with Hispanics. You saw that. #1 with Hispanics. So, look, for our country to be great, we have to be able to make great deals. We're going to be great to the vets. We're going to be terrific. Our military is going to be unbelievable. All of these things, we're going to get rid of Obamacare and come up with something that's much better and much less expensive. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to repeal it. It's going to be out. It should have been out a long time ago. It should have never happened. But we are going to take care of our country, and we're going to bring back jobs, and we're going to bring back wealth to the United States so we can afford to save Social Security, which I'll save without cuts, so that we can afford to do the kind of things that we have to do to to make America great again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And here is your pledge.
Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, here now with his reaction is Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus. Reince, great to see you tonight. So,
hey, Tucker.
I remember when Trump first announced, I was hearing from people at the RNC and other leading Republicans in Washington, this guy's a buffoon, he's a disaster, he's going to destroy the Republican Party. What can we do about this? He opened tonight by saying, I've been treated respectfully by the RNC. How did that détente come about?
Well, look, I mean, it's our job to treat all of these candidates respectfully and fairly, and if I wasn't doing that, then I wouldn't be worthy of being chairman of the Republican Party. So my job is to make sure that we've got a party that's ready for whoever the nominee is. But at the same time, I've got to make sure that all of our candidates pledge their loyalty to the party and also pledge that they wouldn't seek a third-party bid, because what would we be preparing the party for? So I'm happy that today happened. We've got complete unity with the 17 candidates now saying that we pledge our loyalty to the party. And I think our activists and our donors and everyone in between need to know that. And that's why today was a good day for our party.
Well, it was definitely a good day for Donald Trump because he got the other candidates to agree to support him. He could not be kept off the ballot now.
It works every direction. I mean, obviously, you're right. It works every direction.
So do you believe it? I mean, we'll just do a quick thought experiment. Let's say 3 months from now, middle of the primaries, Donald Trump starts to lose, and then he loses. Do you really think he'll be able to decelerate? I mean, do you really believe that he wouldn't run third party?
Really, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, what matters is today, and sure. I mean, people, you can rip up whatever agreement you want and say I've changed my mind. But I think that when someone puts their name on a piece of paper and says to the American people that I give you my word, and when the other candidates raise their hand and say I'm not going to run as an independent, I think that means something. I think it means something when you run for president. Yeah. And when Donald Trump was asked today, is there anything that would change your mind? He said, there's nothing that would change my mind. This is what I'm doing. So you're right. It's possible. But I'd rather be where I am today than in a place where you have candidates that wouldn't pledge. So I've got to do what I have to do to put the party in the best position to win next year.
It's a good point. Very quickly, is there any message or anything to be learned by Republicans in Washington from the Trump candidacy?
Well, I think that there's a lot to be learned from a lot of these candidates that are out there talking about what we need to do to change and to lead in this country. Obviously, a lot of people are frustrated with Washington, frustrated with a system that doesn't seem to be looking out for the little guy. And I think you're seeing that across the country. So, yeah, there's a lot to learn. I mean, you've got, obviously, a whole lot of frustration out there, and I think people are seeing it. And you're seeing it actually on both sides of the aisle. And so I think both parties are learning a lot through this process.
Yeah, I think that's true. Hope so. Reince Priebus, thanks a lot for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Congratulations on this.
Thanks.